From March to May 2020, the National Center for Mental Health received an average of 935 calls in a month, compared to the 400 monthly average calls they received before the pandemic. According to the Philcare CQ survey report, 81% of Filipinos worried about the health of their loved ones, and 70% were anxious about getting COVID. It was also shown that 82% of Filipinos were worried about a second wave of the virus. It's clear that because of the pandemic, Filipinos are not only dealing with physical health issues, but are also burdened with scenarios that can affect their mental well-being. This is where Philcare steps up to help Filipinos better cope with the pandemic. In line with its vision to be at the forefront in addressing mental wellness in the country, Philcare invested in a platform providing online counseling services, MyGolana. With the investment in the Silicon Valley startup, Philcare is leading the way in expanding better access to mental wellness and counseling services in the Philippines through Philcare MindCare, which can be accessed via the HeyPhil app. Because of the growing need for mental health care, Philcare is dedicated to providing this service to address such an important demand. Through this feature, people who are seeking mental health services can get access to online counseling services anywhere, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Schedule is confirmed in an instant, and clients can learn about and track their mental health using many free tools including Wellness Diagnostic Surveys, Wellness Tracker, and the Wellness Dashboard, which summarizes one's progress towards mental and emotional wellness. In case more intensive treatment is needed, the member can be referred to Philcare's own network of psychologists or psychiatrists, thus providing a holistic end-to-end experience for our valued members. Alongside this development, Philcare is now releasing a single-use MindCare prepaid plan to the public, Philcare MindCare at 1,000 pesos. Starting October, which is Mental Health and Wellness Month, Philcare will regularly host webinars as part of its efforts to bridge the gap in mental health care in the country. Topics include burnout in a work-from-home setting, practicing safe coping mechanisms, and the like. By bringing mental health care to light, Philcare positions itself as a thought leader while addressing an emerging need for mental health services for Filipinos. That's healthcare made smarter.
Myself, I'm Panic Diaz. I'm from the Youth for Mental Health organization, but there's nothing to panic about. I'm just here to be your host and facilitate for this event today. Okay? On behalf of the organizers of this event, we would like to thank you all for taking time out of your day to celebrate with us mental health and of course the first anniversary of Mental Health
speaker. And again, I thank you so much for being here. Our first speaker is Senator Montevero on the mental health bill. So enjoy the event, guys.
Welcome with a great big round of applause, Nadine.
So, I'm still pinching myself that I'm here, no? Ibig sabihin, I can't believe that we've come this far.
Please welcome with a great big round of applause, Miss Mariela.
Gia for teaching us 10 things that would help us live our life easier. About love, taking care of yourself, or an alternative way
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kylie Verzosa, your 2016 Miss International and an advocate of mental health, actress through my organization, Mental Health Matters. Greetings from over here in Palawan. So for the first time, 3 organizations are joining together today in our mental health check-in. MyGolana Philippines, Philcare, and my organization, Mental Health Matters. We are working together to promote the benefits of professional counseling and launch a new mobile mental health product called MindCare. This product is created by Philcare to help people gain easy access to mental health services. The issue of mental health spreads far and wide, even now in the second month of 2021. From last year, many services of mental health facilities were halted. More families had to care for mental health patients in their homes. And aside from that, there has been a significant increase in mental health cases in mental facilities. Counseling services reported more than 50% increase in clients during 2020. Certainly, we have overcome a lot of obstacles, and here we are now in the Love Month. Love is also paying an expensive price to sustain itself these days. So there are many things to consider, and you may be asking, how are we supposed to love people who are psychologically challenged? Can love be sustained with when mental health becomes a concern, especially during the time of COVID-19? These and many other big questions will be answered in today's show. I'm sure you've got big questions too, but wait, let me just announce first that we will be giving a very exciting Valentine's giveaway for some lucky people attending today's show. Is giving out 10 MindCare vouchers. That means you can win a free counseling session for each MindCare gift certificate. Simply do the following: send in your questions through our live chat on our Facebook Live. Wait for your name to be drawn and be the winner, and your prizes will be announced and sent to you via email. This program is being aired live also on Facebook, so join us now. You still have plenty of time to be part of this event. Invite your friends, colleagues, and bring in the family. It will be an extraordinary moment for all of us here. Pull in your big questions, get honest answers, and win big prizes, but most of all, have fun. So, without further ado, we have an exciting discussion panel planned for you today. Do you know why? That's because we will put love on a collision course with mental health. Just to let you know, we apologize for the absence of Dr. Gia Season today because for some unavoidable situation, but we are really inspired by her zeal in advocating for a healthy mind and well-being. Greetings to you, Dr. Gia Season. We will catch you next time. So now we have 2 people who have come and who do have a passion for counseling and also for healing relationships. They have gone through many different and unique experiences as well, which have made them experts in their own fields. First, let me introduce to you Dr. Bernadette Manalo-Arcena, or known as Dr. Babes.
Hi, Kylie.
She is an acclaimed member of the fellow of the Philippine Psychiatric Association, also an international fellow of the American Psychiatric Association. She is a diplomate of the Philippine Board of Psychiatry. She's also a fee-based psychiatrist of the U.S. Veterans Affairs and handles U.S. military patients with post-traumatic stress disorder and other psychiatric disorders since 2003. Currently, she is an associate professor for the William Quasha Memorial Center, section of the Patient Support Services of the Cancer Institute of St. Luke's Medical Center, Quezon City. Please welcome the dynamic Dr. Arcena.
Hi, Kylie. It's good to see you, and you have also graced us with your availability. And with that, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Arcena. Thank you so much for joining us here in this program today. Now, for our second panelist, we have Coach Phil Laharca of MyGolana. Mr. Teofilio Laharca Jr., also known as Coach Phil, is a licensed wellness counselor at MyGolana Philippines. He has over 12 years of counseling experience and has obtained the status of certified life coach, family and marriage coach, and is also a radio broadcaster. He is currently one of the co-hosts of the popular weekly program Heartline, airing at 702 DZAS AM radio. Please welcome Coach Phil.
Hello, Kylie. Hello, everyone who's listening out right there.
Hello,
Good
Coach Phil.
afternoon.
It is
Thank
so
you.
nice to
Yeah.
see you again.
You too. I'm very, very pleased to be with you here right now. Beautiful.
Thank you very much for being with us today. Right now, let us watch this Philcare video, which shows us our main topic and Philcare's mind care services available for you.
From March to May 2020, the National Center for Mental Health received an average of 935 calls in a month, compared to the 400 monthly average calls they received before the pandemic. According to the Philcare CQ survey report, 81% of Filipinos worried about the health of their loved ones, and 70% were anxious about getting COVID. It was also shown that 82% of Filipinos were worried about a second wave of the virus. It's clear that because of the pandemic, Filipinos are not only dealing with physical health issues, but are also burdened with scenarios that can affect their mental well-being. This is where Philcare steps up to help Filipinos better cope with the pandemic. In line with its vision to be at the forefront in addressing mental wellness in the country, Philcare invested in a platform providing online counseling services, MyGolana. With the investment in the Silicon Valley startup, Philcare is leading the way in expanding better access to mental wellness and counseling services in the Philippines through Philcare MindCare, which can be accessed via the HeyPhil app. Because of the growing need for mental health care, Philcare is dedicated to providing this service to address such an important demand. Through this feature, people who are seeking mental health services can get access to online counseling services anywhere, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Schedule is confirmed in an instant, and clients can learn about and track their mental health using many free tools including wellness diagnostic surveys, wellness tracker, and the wellness dashboard, which summarizes one's progress towards mental and emotional wellness. In case more intensive treatment is needed, the member can be referred to Philcare's own network of psychologists or psychiatrists, thus providing a holistic end-to-end experience for our valued members. Alongside this development, Philcare is now releasing a single-use MindCare prepaid plan to the public, Philcare MindCare at 1,000 pesos. Starting October, which is Mental Health and Wellness Month, Philcare will regularly host webinars as part of its efforts to bridge the gap in mental health care in the country. Topics include burnout in a work-from-home setting, practicing safe coping mechanisms, and the like. By bringing mental health care to light, Philcare positions itself as a thought leader while addressing an emerging need for mental health services for Filipinos. That's healthcare made smarter.
It is so good to have an available service for everyone. Thank you so much, MindCare. But let's look at this issue straight on. What happens when love collides with the issues of mental health? In this time of the pandemic, love faces many difficulties. Can love overcome the hardship of psychological stress? Can love deal with a toxic relationship? Can the pandemic destroy love, or will the pandemic inspire us to love more? Can insanity be love, or is love an insanity? This will be the spark of interest in today's discussion. On your perspectives, I am talking about the relationship experts here, and in general, what do you think, guys, are the qualities of a healthy and desirable relationship? Let's go for Dr. Babes. What do you think are the qualities of a healthy relationship?
First and foremost of all, Kylie, happy Valentine's Day to everyone for the 4th of Feb.
Yes, happy advanced Valentine's Day indeed.
Very good discussion in the love month, and I think having a healthy and desirable relationship should be something wherein we really wanted to have, right, in our life. There should be enjoyment, there should be happiness. It's like bringing out the best in us, something wherein you can be you, parang ikaw talaga, and something wherein you look forward every day in your life, wherein you feel very happy and very inspired. I think dapat ganon, no? Something wherein our feelings would really be mutual, and that we are very, very happy with that.
Good
Yeah.
answer. I totally agree. What about you, Coach Phil?
You know, I like that happy feeling that you get inspired. One thing that makes a relationship very healthy is when you're going through difficult times. And in difficult times, you can afford to be patient, you can afford to be selfless, you can afford to be someone, the heroic part of you comes out, and that's a fulfilling part of a relationship. So this is a kind of successful relationship that most people have, those who really endure the times, even through age, even through difficult situations. They get along with each other. Yeah, not perfect, but those are the very important things: patience, selflessness, the sacrifice, the heroic part of you. It comes out. Yeah, and this is a very healthy part that I believe so. Yeah.
So yeah, we always have two sides of the spectrum. There's the happy part, there's this feeling joyous and energetic and this, always feeling inspired part. But there's also the part where a relationship also has to endure, the test of time, and it's
True.
about commitment and, as Coach Phil said, sacrifice. So I guess it's withstanding time, but also feeling inspired at the same time, diba? So if you
Oo.
guys agree, leave a comment below. Right now, many families are experiencing psychological challenges brought by the pandemic. Some of us have loved ones who are stricken with psychological conditions and are barely able to manage it. Others experience the psychological pressures of the pandemic. What tips can we give to help people in this situation?
Yeah. For those who have patients undergoing psychological issues, it's been shown in studies that this pandemic actually created more psychiatric issues and problems such as anxiety, depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, and domestic violence. So if you are a family member na merong special, no, someone with psychological issues, you need to give them the love, attention, the generosity of your time. And let
Mm-mm.
them express how they feel. Kasi nahirap na nga, and then they clam up because they do not understand, or perhaps they feel so scared. Who would not be scared right now, di ba? So it emanates from what? Giving them love, attention, and care.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much, Dr. Arsena. What about you, Coach Phil?
I agree with Dr. Arcena, Babes. I love that. Um, Love is really a very good healing quality in relationships. Yeah. Kapag mahal mo ang tao, kasi schizophrenics, people with anxiety, with depression, they are sensitive and responsive to love. Yeah, that's a very important thing. But these days, medyo hirap tayo, no? The difficulties that the pandemic has given makes love so expensive in many ways. But it's still the thing that makes you capable of dealing with the problem. Maybe another tip would be you have to increase your patience. You have to increase your agility and flexibility. You have to accommodate the the situation of this person. So we are the ones who adjust to them. It might seem awkward at a moment because your adjustment might be overarching all your abilities, but it's one of those things that also stretches you and expands your knowledge, expands your ability for someone you love. But I guarantee you, yes, mom, babes, love is how the people respond to. Any mental health patient will respond to love, also with honesty, also with values that show good relationships. That's a very, very good way to recover them from their situation. Addiction, anxiety, depression, schizophobia, all those stuff. Even even other times, difficulties with stresses. That helps a lot.
I agree with both Dr. Arcena and Counselor Phil. Dr. Arcena mentioned a lot of patience is needed talaga, especially during this time of the pandemic. And Counselor Phil talked about, I guess, how
Yeah, the
mental
patients
mental health patients still
respond.
reciprocate love, or they need love to heal.
Yeah,
Diba? So it's a
definitely.
both very beautiful and wonderful points. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. Dr.
Welcome.
Babes, have you dealt with people who have gone through challenges with the family as a mental patient? What do you say about being a mental patient, and what struggles do they have to go through with love from the family?
Actually, Kylie, now I really emphasize that uh, patients should continue with their consult and that the support should always be there. Kahit na pandemic, we do naman online consult. So the more that we have to be, careful that they comply with the treatment. And I always involve the family when it comes to therapy sessions because they also have the burden of caring. They also feel at times na parang they're giving everything to the patient, no? That's why there's always the emphasis of sharing the responsibility, tapos always have fun too, and make sure that you talk, no? There should really be talk sessions together, or you can have fun together. You can have TikTok together. You can watch Netflix. You can watch your Korean telenovelas and do something really different. You can do arts, no? So for me, love is something wherein the world of a mental patient would really be happy and will go around kasi nga alam niya na somebody cares and there is a reason to live.
Dr. Babes, what do you think is the only thing worth sacrificing for the sake of love?
Alam mo,
I think this is a very difficult question to answer, pero sige nga, what do you think about this?
Ang ganda ng tanong na yan, Kylie, naisip ko nga, no? Wala yan sa mga libro no? But it
Yes. Medyo
hard.
mahirap na. But I want to know from, what do you think is the one thing worth sacrificing for the sake of love?
Alam mo, when you see that person happy, when you see that person that you felt worthy, valued, nakita mo yung ngiti, alam mo, the smile, the laughter that you see in that person will make you say, okay, I think it is worth it. When you give something that they will always remember that they are valued and that they are taken care of. For me, that's one, hindi nga sacrifice something that you freely give.
Ako, Dr. Arcena, paano kung hindi ka mahal ng mahal mo? Paano yun?
Well,
Paano? Ang hirap naman if I wanna see him happy tapos di niya ako mahal, di ba?
Alam mo,
Pero those are special cases naman. We are talking about, syempre, love, within a relationship and a mutual relationship naman.
I want to answer that because ang daming ganyan.
Marami talaga. Valentine's na nga, diba?
Alam mo, kung hindi ka mahal ng mahal mo, then mahalin mo ang sarili mo. You know why?
Yes.
You know why? Because
shift the focus to you.
Focus to yourself.
Diba?
Care, self-love, Kylie, is very important. Malay mo, diba? When you see that you value yourself, another person comes along and will value you more. So if it's not worth for you, kung hindi para sa'yo, wag mo pilitin.
Ayun, tamang-tama yun. I really believe you really have to focus on yourself. Tapos darating ang love.
Yes.
'Di ba? Parang darating ang love kapag buong-buo na yung sarili mo. And then the right love will come. Thank you so much, Dr. Arcena. That was an amazing answer. At times, a person with psychological challenges becomes very difficult to deal with, and it gets destructive or toxic even to loved ones. Many would give up on this kind of love. Some relationships suffer with abuse and emotional pain. For both of you, Dr. Babes and Coach Phil, how do you know that love is already at a toxic level? Let's go with Coach Phil.
Oh, okay. Toxic na kapag nalaman mong sumasagad na yung threshold, sumasagad na yung kakayahan mo. So you are a patient person, but definitely patience has its limits because we have human limits too. So when your limits is approaching, when the threshold of your ability to be patient is being really tested, now that's being toxic na. Hindi mo na matiis yung tao. Di ba meron tayong kasabihan, kapag di mo na matiis, talagang nasasagad ka na. That's an indication you're already feeling toxicity. Hindi mo matiis yung pandadaya, yung panloloko, pagsisinungaling, and sometimes it's already becoming a pathologic liar na, ganon. Sometimes you'll feel that a person is also so abusive, so clingy, to a point of discomfort and losing your own private moment. You're losing your personal decision making. It's also being compromised, and your personal work-life balance is shaken. That's toxic. So certain people with a difficulty or with a certain mental disorder will reach that level. But I'm talking like, yeah, if you have a short fuse when it comes to patience, I hope you have an extended love capability so that you can distinguish how else you can push the envelope when it comes to being patient. But it's toxic already when it's affecting you emotionally. Your job is being affected, your routines and your personal self-care is already affected. That's toxic. There.
Thank you so much, Coach Phil. What about Dr. Arcena?
I would imagine a stress thermometer, Kylie. Like, for example, kung sa temperature natin, di ba? Pag 40 degrees centigrade, may fever na yon. You just imagine hanggang doon na ang toxicity mo sa relasyon, no? So that means to say, feverish means may fever ka na, may lagnat ka na, naiinis ka na. And always remember this, toxic kapag you don't feel like your real self anymore. Hindi na ako, hindi na si Kylie to, hindi na si Babes to, hindi na si Coach Phil to, no? So, you kind of feel that you are a different person and hindi ka nang umingiti. Palagi ka na lang naiiyak. And usually may mga long-standing kayo na mga issues, tapos hindi nyo na-address yung ganitong mga conflicts ninyo. And you always feel like you are being blamed. But remember, if there is really an abusive symptoms, then that's something wherein I really term as really, really toxic.
Oh, alam niyo na guys ha, kung nasa toxic relationship kayo, bad yan para sa inyo. If you have been feeling any of the signs Dr. Phil or Dr. Arcena mentioned, then you might be in a toxic relationship which is bad for your mental health. So moving on, Dr. Arcena, you have also worked with the U.S. military and did PTSD therapy. Did you notice any differences between the coping mechanisms of Western culture compared to the Filipinos? Tell us about the strong points and weak points also.
We Filipinos kasi are very family-oriented. And then we have each other's back to help us. Very close tayo, closely knitted. Even the lolas and the lolos, the titos and the titas will come to our rescue. For my U.S. vets, usually they're alone. They go to the Philippines. They will, seek a woman who would love them. And parang lonely yung mundo nila, no, as compared sa atin. When it comes to PTSD, Ang maganda kasi sa kanila, they have their service-connected disabilities. So, meron silang mga claims. Pagdating sa coping, I think Filipinos are better in coping as compared to the Americans.
Ooh, very interesting. Thank you so much for that insight, Dr. Arcena. Can the quality of love among Filipinos withstand the pandemic considering social, political, and economic conditions now? Dr. Arcena?
Yeah, I think for me, we can withstand all the trials. Ang mga Pinoy kasi, we are very resilient. Meaning to say, parang we can handle situations like this. Mabilis tayo tumawa eh. Napansin nyo, pag may bagyo, may lindol, everyone is still happy kapag may camera eh, di ba? Minsan nagsiselfie pa. And I think we Filipinos, we possess the love of family, our religiosity. Ano tayo eh, religyoso tayo. And we always have this fear na we have to be in this together. And there is what we term as pagsasamang Pilipino when it comes to in times of distress. For me, we have hope for this. We Filipinos can and fight COVID as long as we adhere to the guidelines of the government, but at the same time, manage things that you can with yourself.
Okay, I have a question for the both of you. What about the situations when toxic personalities exist in a relationship? What is the best way to detect a toxic personality? And what can a person do if they are in a toxic relationship? I guess since nasagot na natin kung ano yung mga qualities kung ng mga toxic relationship, sagutin na lang natin yung what can a person do if someone is in a toxic relationship? Coach Phil?
Oh, yeah. We always recommend counseling.
Ano, maghiwalay. What do you think? What do you think? I guess to ano, no? Or just think about the relationship.
Maghiwalay na talaga. Yeah.
It's bad for you. But sige
actually,
nga, Coach Phil.
Oo, magandang recommendation yon na mag-separate muna. Well, people who are really in a toxic personality, they need to heal also. May mga kanya-kanya din silang mga sama ng loob. Kailangan nilang gumaling din para doon. So, maybe your relationship is on the way or is becoming an obstacle for healing. So yeah, go ahead and separate ways muna. It's not the right time because it will damage the relationship. Usually, ang isang taong may toxic personality, halimbawa, nagko-cross siya lagi ng boundaries mo. O kaya iniinis ka niya lagi to a point na hindi naman niya sadya, pero ganun lang talaga siya ng attitude. And it's not like normal anymore. And you don't feel so good about it. Hindi mo naman kailangan maging heroic in such a way na ikaw yung laging aako nun. Sometimes it's just so stressful, a professional will have to handle that. So, back off muna sa relationship. If your relationship is causing you to worry and you lose sleep on it, you lose time and you lose resources on it, that's not very healthy. And a relationship is supposed to be helping one another grow. If you're hurt, it should heal you. But if the relationship worsens the situation, then that's not safe. Get back. So, layo ka muna. Number 2, get some help from people you trust. Mga kamag-anak, friends, trusted friends. Get some advice because somehow what we're trying to arrive at is that a person will be humble enough to see na, uy, this is not the common thing. They can bow down and, yeah, kapag na-recognize nila, that's gonna be good. But if not, ano na, sa professional help na, andyan, si Doc Bernadette, si Ma'am Babes, yan. Well, Ma'am Babes, what do you think?
Ma'am Babes, sige, I want you to ask this question. When should we get professional help? And when do we convince someone to do it? I just wanna jump in, no? Parang, as much as it's so easy to say na maghiwalay na lang kayo, minsan talaga mahirap. And it's hard because syempre you're attached to the person. So I like the advice Coach Phil gave na maybe space is good for the both of you, for the both of you to heal and to learn and to grow as separate people, diba? So it's not as easy as it may sound, diba? So, Dr. Arcena, when should we get professional help and how do we convince someone to do it? Especially yung mga resistant ones to getting help.
Well, maganda yung sinabi ni Coach Phil kanina, no? I think if there is violence, if there is abuse, if there is battering, if there is some suicidality, no, na sinasaktan niya yung sarili niya, o nagkakaroon siya ng aggression na, alam mo yun, parang nagtitreat siya na magpakamatay kung aalis ka sa relationship, then those are telltale signs that really something is wrong, no, with her personality. It might be she has depression or meron siyang personality problems which needs immediate consultations with a mental health expert. It's not easy to say na, magpunta ka sa psychiatrist. Alam mo naman sa Pinoy, di ba? Pag sinabing pumunta ka sa psychiatrist, may tama na yon. It's not that. You always have to remember that when you go to the psychiatrist or psychologist, it's like you are also taking care of your mental health such that yung physical health ay inaalagaan mo rin. Di ba nagpupunta tayo sa salon, Kylie, para magpaganda? Ganon din yung gagawin natin sa ating isip.
Thank you so much, Dr. Coach Phil, what things do we need to know about the mental health law which guides us in responding to the loved ones with mental health issues?
Okay. Well, ang mental health law ay binigay sa atin, ina-address yung stigma. Kailangan tanggalin yung stigma dun sa mga taong mayroong mental health. Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin sa isang tao na sira ulo siya and then iyon na yung mga magiging batayan mo sa yung actions towards her. That the mental health law is already saying that you don't stigmatize a person. Secondly, you provide facilities and you make sure that facilities are open for them. So this is a very good advancement. Dati kasi walang ganun eh. So right now, when you think that a person needs professional help, ayan na. Andiyan na yung mental health facilities available for everyone, and as much as possible, kung hindi kayang i-afford ng tao, the facilities are doing their best to make it affordable as possible. And so lahat ng discounts ina-advise and then binibigyan ng pagkakataon maski sa LGU level, magkaroon ng ganitong serbisyo so that even the common people can have the services available. So that's what our mental health law says. Yun. Okay, just in a gist.
Thank you so much, Coach Phil. Have you had cases where counselees are affected by the IATF rules and regulations? Does that have some effect on our mental capabilities to sustain a relationship?
Yeah, oo. Kasi, recent IATF restrictions yung hindi makapunta sa kaibigan, hindi man lang makalapit, at bawal pang sumakay sa motorsiklo, kailangan meron pa harang Anyway, certain rules of the IATF such as too much restriction on gathering together, that is very hard and harsh for people with mental health problems. Yung hindi mo mapuntahan yung namatay mong kaibigan, hindi mo mapuntahan yung kaibigan mo kapag kailangan mo ng comfort. Kasi you have to stay in quarantine do sa zone na naka-restrict. Those are very inconsiderate laws. However, I wish that there were ways to identify na kailangan yun eh. Our society is a society that associates a lot more than any other country. Mahalubilo tayo. We interact a lot more compared to many other cultures. And that is something which should be a norm, considered. And yes, may mga tumawag dahil dun sa IATF na yon na pinagbabawalan silang makalabas. Yun. Basically, yun. It worsens some of their situations. Yun.
Tama nga naman. I totally agree with that. Let me hear also from Dr. Arcena, what can family members do if they have a mentally ill person in the house?
Well, aside from the restrictions kasi na lumalabas ang mga tao, no? Those who are very young and very old, make sure lang that there is somebody with the mentally ill patient, no? especially if you have patients with schizophrenia and that they're being treated, make sure lang na hindi sila lumalabas talaga ng bahay, no? And of course, we know for sure that, the UK variant is still there and may mga variants pa doon na iba. So, it's still a very, very not sure situation that we have right now. So, we can have online consults, tuloy nyo yung medications ng mga pasyente, make sure that you have fun time, no? Doesn't mean na pandemic, you're just gonna stay in the house and, not do anything. Actually, in the house, you can do a lot and you can discover a lot of things for the family.
Thank you so much, Dr. Arcena. Coach Phil, the law speaks of mental health as a basis of annulment for marriages. What is your take on this?
Wow, heavy question indeed. Pero on the side of law, hindi naman ginawa yon para i-stigmatize ang mga mayroong mental health problem. Well, the law still states that i-prove mo muna na for the next 5 years hindi ka gagaling, doon pa lang natin mapapatunayan na kailangan nyo maghiwalay. Pero that is a very hard thing to prove. However, it has become abuse. It has become a reason for people to make annulment, even if it does not exist. Even if the disorder does not exist, they just forward it out. Hindi tama. So, my take on the law is that it's helpful because it allows a chance for a mental health patient to recover and regain and be benefited by the love inside a relationship, a marriage. Siyempre, may karapatan din namang maging married. Ang isang tao, kahit mayroon siyang mental health problem, kailangan pa rin niya yun. Ngayon lang, kapag halimbawa, umabot na doon sa point na hindi siya redeemable and hindi rin siya tolerable, such as napaka-violente, and that's where the law should be used in intervening. Nevertheless, ang side ko naman do sa mga practitioners na mental health like me, I prefer na the law support pa rin yung pagpapalakas ng married relationship, yung pa rin. And then susuportahan niya ng mental health services para makarecover yung tao. Kasi doon din yun Still ends up, the best way to recover is in a loving, caring, wonderfully providing relationship. Yun. So that's my take on that.
Coach
Oh, thank you so much.
Kylie?
Yes, please do.
For psychological incapacity as reasons for annulment of marriage, actually, I have those kind of cases. But then, pag meron ka kasing bipolar disorder, no? If you have depression, and if you have anxiety and post-traumatic stress disorder, hindi kasi siya reason for the annulment of marriage, no? Because these are treatable conditions. We usually have the psychological incapacity for couples na talagang una, they both have personality disorders for that matter. Second, talagang hindi na nagkakaroon ng yung mga kasi the love, loyalty, no, respect, no, and staying together. Yung mga qualities of a marriage is not there anymore. But madami din ako nakitang na mga husbands and wives na may mga mental problems yung kanilang spouses. But you know what? When love is there, everything is possible So for me, that should not be a reason for annulment as long as there is love and there is respect and care. Why not, diba?
Thank you so much. Just one final question for all of you. Love is a very basic value among us Filipinos, but the pandemic has intensified public stress, has reduced services, placed facilities into near breakup situations. What can love do?
Babes, kayo muna. Kayo muna. Ladies first.
Ganun, no? Okay. Well, love is actually the reason why we exist in this world, no? Not only love for a partner, but also love of family, love of God, which help us bear on with all the things that are happening right now. I would always say that we should always be grateful if we are still, breathing. I've seen a lot of patients die during this pandemic. It really, parang in sense, ang pagiging doktor ko minsan, I would tell myself, am I really helping people? But then I would always have that love for, for my patients, for my family, and also the love for advocacy of mental health, which I think we are doing well or better right now, thanks to Kylie and Coach Phil. And for me, that's one thing that we have to work on. The greatest love of all is the love of self, love of family, and love of country.
Thank you so much, Dr. Arcena. What about you, Coach Phil? What can love do, especially in this time?
Love gives you compassion. It gives you patience. It gives you selflessness. It gives you the ability to stretch yourself a lot further and see and explore a lot of other possibilities. That kind of love recovers people who are injured, who are hurting. So people who are healing, they heal better with love. Ngayon, sana not just for people with problems mentally, but even for healthy people who are normally they have problems, yeah. Kahit naman may problema tayo at normal tayong mga tao, we still need love. And yes, love can do a lot of things. It's the kind of thing that makes you say, oh, I did something very beneficial for someone who is like me, someone I empathize with, someone who is equal in my needs. Yun. And then you recognize, oh, it's a very wonderful fulfillment to love. That's it.
Ang ganda ng I love both of your answers. I really think being in a state of love or just being in a frequency of love puts everything in a better state. Your work is better, your relationship with your family is better, your friends are better. Diba? Napapansin natin kapag okay yung relationship natin, mas umu-okay din yung the quality also of our life also gets better.
And look at Kylie, she's in love.
Thank you so much. Kulang na lang ring light dito. Naku, narinig ko na yung mga single ones out there. Paano na sila? They also have to be in that state of love. Diba?
Yeah,
but don't worry, makakahanap din. There's always someone for us out there.
Oo. May mga tao.
Okay, now we are gonna move on and let us take the discussion to the audience and let's find out what our public viewers are thinking about. This is also the part where we get to answer some of your questions. Now, to those of you who have sent in questions, you guys might be the lucky winner of a MindCare gift certificate. So keep those questions coming in. Philcare is giving out 10 MindCare counseling sessions. That means you can win a free counseling session for each MindCare gift certificate. So let's check this for the mechanics of this promo. And I am so excited to read your comments. Please keep it flowing and let us get to your questions. Okay. Oops.
Wow, yung mga singles.
I know, oh my God, I can just imagine. Okay, question number 1. From Iraq Cabreros, how do we establish a healthy social and personal boundaries in the time of this pandemic? I think napaka-importante din to. I get this a lot with my advocacy. Paano kung yung family member naman natin yung toxic? How do we set the right boundaries for this?
Yeah, the problem right now is that we are staying in the same house, no?
Yes, and it really happens a lot.
Yeah, and that's always the questions that we have. No?
Mm-hmm.
How are we going to keep somebody?
Paano nga ba? Paano tayo magsiset ng boundaries with our family?
Yeah, well, for me, I think talking about it and having heart-to-heart talks with the family members is one of the key. Kasi alam mo, sa totoo lang, after 3 years, it would be a different scenario already. Hindi tayo ganito na. We won't need a mask to go out. We don't need a face shield to go out first after 3 years or 4 years. No? That's why right now, cherish the moments that we have. Make that toxicity be a challenge for everyone to what? To patch it up, to make things heal, and the injuries to be what? To be addressed.
That's right. I think being very vocal and honest about how you feel and confronting that person is very important. Question number 2 from Janelle Marie Madayag. How to respond to a loved one diagnosed with depression who constantly says that he or she wants to die every single day. How to give love and attention to them when you also have a messy life to deal with too.
Whoa.
Sobrang naramdaman ko tong question. I really Janelle Marie Madayag, I'm sending you my love from over here. Coach Phil?
Yeah. Wow, that's a very, very tough question, ano mo. Usually, madaling mag-extend ng lakas, madaling mag-extend ng service to someone kung malakas ka rin. So, if you have the stamina, yeah, you can do it. But this one is different. You have a messy life to deal with. Wow. Listen, you gotta go with counseling because this is something very important. I don't want you to be further injured by the stress and the demand of loving someone with depression. But listen, if in case, suppose no choice, wala, hindi ka maka-access. Well, anyway, may Philcare na, mayroon pang MyGolana, okay, mayroon pang MHM, and we can help you out with that. Now, if in case na talagang, or at this very moment, you're struggling with that right now, listen, there are ways to be strong even when you're dealing with struggles yourself, okay? There are so many ways to be strong. So first, you don't lose hope on this. Second, make sure you're healthy. Keep your diets well, sleep well, don't get yourself too stressed out. Now, thirdly, if there are so many things, minsan pe-personalin mo yung sasabihin ng isang tao na may sakit mentally. Pero wag na wag mong pe-personalin. Meaning, it's not about you. It's not really, whatever the person says, it may be true, it may be hurting, it may be damaging. No, be stronger than that. Now, it's hard when you have things to deal with. So please, deal mo muna yung hurt mo. Get some counseling for yourself. Deal with that. Let's find out. And then you can help and deal with people with depression. Kung posible, get somebody to help you, someone with the healthy capacity to address that concern. Kasi nakakapagod din kung ikaw yung naka-full-time, naka-focus sa isang tao na mayroong problema mentally. Nakakapagod yun. Kailangan mo nang mayroong nagre-relyebo sa'yo. So you need to deal with that. You need to heal also. And as you grow, you become stronger on this. Okay? Now, I don't know the details, but if you do have the details, we can be more specific with the actions that you can take, you know. Depression is if a person is hurting herself, one guideline by the World Health Organization is to make sure hindi siya ganun ka-private, to make sure nagpo-provide ka ng pangailangan niya. Just be available for talking and wag mong pe-personalin ko naman yung kwento niya. Okay? That's very important. Ganun. There's so many things to deal. We got to talk about this.
Thank you so much, Coach Phil. I think every case is different. And just to get into the specific, that's why counseling is so important. But we can deal with this very specific situations on a one-on-one basis. But we can get into the nitty-gritty of things. And para we can give you the best advice possible. And that's why MyGolana is here, and that's why Dr. Arcena is here. All right, let's move on to question number 3 from Maria Luisa Villaluna. How to recover from heartbreak and feel whole again?
Heartbreak.
It's really hard, you know. We just have to go into the process of going into that. Going to the pains, being blemished, being scarred. And then time will come that you're gonna be healed. Hindi naman yan forever eh.
Yes, I like what Dr. Arcena said. It really, you have to go through the process. And I guess acknowledging na masakit talaga siya. And maybe for the next, especially few days, tapos eventually few even months, even masakit talaga siya, but we have to plow through and try to shift the focus to yourself. This is the best time to just, do things that are best for you, improve yourself so that when you come out, you'll be stronger and better and even a better person, diba? Than who you were in your last relationship.
Exactly. Well said. Then you go to your salon and beautify yourself.
Yes,
Yan.
physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, lahat na. Make him regret it. Wow! Char.
May kwento ako sa'yo. This short lang to. Well, there was a time I got broken-hearted, right, way back when I was younger. And I was like crying for 2 weeks, secretly crying with my pillow. Like that. Pero one day I just got tired and said, sabi ko,
Get
ay,
tired.
tama na to.
Yeah.
This is enough. It's taking more than it should. So, enough. When
Yeah.
you become open for healing, ayan na.
Time will
You
come
go.
that you're gonna tell yourself, "Oy, tama na, no? Pwede na to."
Oo, pero may grieving period talaga siya, diba? So for example, my friend ka, let your friend grieve muna or process niya muna everything, and then self-loathing comes in, and then you're questioning yourself, diba? All of this may happen, or actually will happen.
It's not forever that you're being pain.
It's not forever, but
It's not forever.
it is part of life. But don't worry, I really have hope that you will find
Still 2 weeks ka talaga.
a better person.
2 weeks
Yeah.
tayo.
Ha? Sorry?
2 weeks daw siya nag-leave talaga.
Grabe, 2 weeks talaga.
Parang hindi ikaw yun Coach Phil
Well, I was
It's
younger
okay, we all
back
have
then.
to go through there.
Yeah.
Yeah, back then. Hindi pa
Yeah,
ako...
we're human beings.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll be surprised that people grow up.
We do.
Yeah.
Look at us now.
Okay, I'm getting the one last question. Question number 4. From Francine Taarjos, what are the things to do or to consider to help us respond to a complicated situation of marriage, knowing that you cannot control your emotions and thoughts that you've been experiencing since you were a kid?
Time out.
Time out? What do you mean? Okay, me.
Time out is time out. That's for you, Coach Phil.
Okay, Dr.Ma.
Sorry, Kylie, we are already joking. But
no worries.
This kind of problems kasi whenever you have hang-ups during your childhood years and it got into your marriage, and I think you have to process it with an expert. Mahirap kasi times wala naman ginagawa yung partner mo.
Yes, actually, childhood trauma.
Yeah.
Which is very difficult to heal, and you do have to go to a mental health expert, psychiatrist, psychologist, or a counselor to help you heal your inner child, diba?
That is true. Very correct, Kylie, ma'am. We're open for counseling dito sa MyGolana sa Philcare. Yeah, and MHM is also aiding in support. You come, pag-usapan natin kasi that will help you a lot, okay? At the moment, kung aware ka na meron kang problema from back when you were a child, that's already a good indication that you're on your way to healing. Be open for healing. Be open for help. Be open for possibilities that it can be changed. And we will do a lot of available services for you. There.
Thank you so much. I just want to add one question, no? What if a psychiatric patient is in need of medication but cannot afford it, and the facilities can't be accessed or are unavailable during the pandemic? What do we do when the relationship has reached toxic levels?
We have actually psychiatric interventions that are free. And then we have medications naman na hindi naman sobrang mahal, wherein patients can still afford it. Because for me, dapat hindi hindrance yung poor finances, no, to take care of our mentally ill patients, because may paraan talaga, no. We can actually help also through pharmaceutical companies. They also give freebies. But I always emphasize that the family should really be responsible for their mentally ill patients. Kasi importante yun And one thing, if it's becoming toxic, meaning to say if the patient is really violent na or having problems or nagiging psychotic or nagiging distractive, then they need immediate admission in a psychiatric facility.
Mm-mm. Ayan. Well, we're available for counseling too para maka-address din ng problema, even online, para makatulong din, you know.
Yes, you guys can log on to MyGolana. Your first few sessions are free.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
Philcare also has consultations with us. Will also be a life-changing.
And yes, the new Philcare's Mind Care platform is the perfect place to go to. Diba?
Try it.
Yes.
I cannot wait to try it. Thank you so much for your questions, and we really appreciate our audience here. I love the engagement and the questions you sent in. This program has been full of so many insights, enlightenment, and inspiration. So let's hear it for the last time from our guests. Please share with us your fun reminders and tips for everyone. You may also include some announcements you would like to give our winners. Ladies first, Dr. Arcena.
Yeah, for me, Love Month should really be a love year and something we're in. Love for self is the most important thing. If you're single right now, it's just fine. Love can wait, but the most important thing is you value yourself. And when you are in a relationship, learn to cherish moments together in this pandemic. And if you have a psychiatric patient, then love them more because they need you. And for me, the most important thing right now is to take care of ourselves and take care of our mental health. And if you need help, we're just here to help you. Philcare, Mind Care is there to help you.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Dr. Arcena. Coach Phil?
Well, love is a very, very important part of our lives. Kahit yung mga merong problema sa pag-iisip, kailangan din ng pag-ibig. Now, the only thing that will stop you from loving is when you think you can't do it anymore. But the more you expand, the more you practice love, you are being able to accommodate more and a lot more as time goes by. We can grow bigger than the obstacle. We can grow bigger than the difficulties of life. And the difficulty of personalities and attitudes, we can grow. In fact, when you love more, you become less angry, you become less irritated, you become less anxious. Love will allow you to find ways to plan ahead and be open for healing. So allow that to happen. Somebody could be very difficult to handle, but at least you have been able to grow bigger than the person's insecurity or incapacities. You can grow your capacities well. Hindi ko sinasabing accommodate mo lahat. May mga bagay hindi mo kakayanin. Pero at a certain time, lalakas ka and you can accommodate bigger things to the point that a person that you love transforms into someone who's really loving and loyal to you. Talagang i-embrace mo. Yeah. I myself have a relative na mayroong problema mentally, but you know, it's a very good thing. It's a fulfilling thing. Sorry for that. Thank you, Kylie. Go ahead.
No worries, Coach Phil. Sorry to cut you off. Thank you so much for your last words on love. I'm sure na marami kayong matutulungan dito and marami tayong insights na natutunan. Now, MyGolana is giving counseling service to everyone who wants to achieve mental well-being. Let me show you this video on how to access this service. we're coming to a close, MyGolana would like to know your feedback and your opinions about the show today. So please accomplish the feedback forms right after the show. This data will be used for those of you who want to receive a certificate of attendance. Please see the link on your screen for the feedback form. Well, it has really been a heartwarming time and also a cool respite from our daily buzz and the challenging events of this year. Let love shine out today. It's still a couple of days till Valentine's, so let's kick it off with the announcement for the winners of the 10 Mind Care vouchers. So the 10 winners are Miss Ira Caballeros, Janelle Marie Madayag, Maria Luisa Villaluna, Rose Ann Gatela, Regio Kayla Reyes, Elaine Phil Brodet, Belle Ekman, Christine Joy, Adabay, Angeli Magana, Liwayway, Memji Cruz. Congratulations to everyone who have won a Mind Care voucher, and I apologize if I have pronounced any of your names wrong here. Hello to all these people here too.
Congratulations to them.
Congratulations to you guys. Tsaka magagamit nyo talaga yan. Or pwede nyo ibigay sa ibang tao kung gusto nyo, di ba? Gift nyo para sa kanila. So for all the winners, please do send us a private message through the Philcare Facebook page. And congratulations to all of you. Love is in the air to all of you. Happy Valentine's Day, and may all your desires and wishes be granted. See you all next time.